What up, it's your girl Najee. Everybody hates K, but everything golden. And you're listening to T7M Radio with my man's Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah.
Now, let's talk Colin Kaepernick. E-poll marketing research, they polled about 1,100 people. And the poll had considered Colin Kaepernick the most disliked person in the NFL. Out of the 350 players that were mentioned in the survey, 29%. Before you give me your thoughts on this, I'm going to give you some of the people that was behind him. Jameis Winston came in at second at 22%. And Miami's Ndamukong Suh came in third at 21%. Tom Brady, fourth at 13%. And rounding it out fifth was Big Ben as the most disliked player in the NFL at 10%. Now, the funny thing about this, J.O., if you go back about 2 years ago in August, Kaepernick, he was fresh off of the NFC Championship game before losing to Seattle. He was only disliked at that point 6% by the population. Now, we know what's going on with the protesting and all that. What's your thoughts on Colin Kaepernick being labeled as the most disliked player in the NFL?
Kaepernick being labeled the most disliked player in the NFL goes to show that race is still an issue in America, in American sports. I mean, we have Kaepernick, a guy that did a American thing by expressing his views and fighting what he thinks is wrong with this country. And for him to be disliked for that goes to show that we haven't changed much in this country. Do I think Kaepernick, before all this, was a dickhead? Absolutely. Do I think he should get 29% of the vote? When you got a guy like Jay Cutler, who is a piece of crap, he quits on his team, he faked injuries, he leaves the game in the second half of a playoff game. You have a guy that's still collecting elite pay, $100 million contract, if I'm not mistaken. See, that's the thing that bothers me the most. And then you have we have Winston at number 2.
Yeah, they got Winston at number 2 at 22%.
Let's break this down for Winston, number 2. Winston just came in the NFL, and since he's been in the NFL, everybody in the Tampa Bay, the city, the team, has said he has been a great leader. He's been a constant professional. He's been great in the community. I'm guessing he's number 2 because of rape allegations in college. And you have a guy like Big Ben who's been accused of rape twice. He busted his head open in a motorcycle accident or whatever. He's just been reckless throughout his career. Yeah, Winston over Ben, when both was accused of the same thing, except one was accused double time.
Right.
Pretty amusing to me. Pretty telling too.
You know, I remember we did a show about a month ago on Colin Kaepernick and this whole situation, and I took a stance. First of all, I want to apologize for the position that I took, because I felt at the time, you know, not that the message didn't need to be coming out, but, you know, at the time I felt like, who is Colin Kaepernick to deliver the message when he's not productive, when he lost his spot? I didn't think that his voice was going to be a voice that was going to be heard. So I really wasn't judgmental on what he did. I just didn't understand the messenger. But now when I look at it, from that point until today, J.O., you know, I got to commend this guy for not only having a conversation going on for these last 3 weeks so heavy, but in my opinion, man, whether people like it or not, you know how we give it up here on the Best of 7 Sports Talk. We tell it like it is, based off of how we feel. I think a lot of true colors is coming out now, and we are starting to see who is who. Ever since these conversations and these talks done came about, ever since Colin Kaepernick done started, you see a lot of, and I don't want to put it all on white people, of course not. You know, we got Boomer Esiason, and we have, you know, we got a couple people that was really publicly had issues with Colin Kaepernick, you know what I'm saying, in a disgraceful manner. And I'm looking at them, and it's just like, well, are you not getting the message? I mean, it's not, you guys are trying to focus so much on what he did as far as protesting and how he executed it, but you guys are totally looking past the message. And they trying to bring the military in it, the veterans in it, the flag in it, and I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think this whole conversation is really showing who's who in the National Football League. We even talked about a lot of owners being possibly racist. Of course, you know, the NFL is ran by owners who definitely have those type of bias issues. But, you know, just from the media standpoint, former NFL athletes and, you know, media, we seeing it, and I'm looking at it, and I don't like it because I don't really see any black athletes or media speaking, you know, in that form of fashion when it comes to the dislike for what Colin Kaepernick is doing. So, you know, I think that I salute him 100%, and for him being voted the most disliked, I mean, it's expected. I'm not surprised, but then it goes to show, you know, look who's taking the votes, and look, we got to look at ourselves. You know what I mean? That's the problem. So he's just exposing. He's just exposing us. You know what I mean? And we are now slowly exposing ourselves on who we truly are.
When we think about this years from now, we're gonna look at Kaepernick as a revolutionary figure, because what he did was nobody thought of doing that. And what he did, you know, I consider brave. You know, we can argue back and forth about should he do that with the national anthem or however he want to show his protest. But he showed his protest at the biggest stand, probably the biggest business in America, which is the NFL. I mean, outside of gas, whatever. But he did it on the biggest, grandest stage. And now we still have things going on, even in my hometown of Charlotte, that validate what he did. People is paying more attention to the act more so than the message, and people use the act as to deflect. So it's all coming together, and like you said, a lot of people is revealing themselves of who they truly are, and it's just unfortunate.
This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio. We're talking Colin Kaepernick. Callers are 347-989-8102. Now, taking a reality check, J.O., now you brought up how Colin Kaepernick will be revered in the future as being somebody that, you know, made a monumental move. And that remains to be seen. And I kind of agree with that maybe a month or two ago, because you got to remember when Muhammad Ali did what he did, even Martin Luther King doing what he did, it doesn't really get appreciated until after the fact. So, you know, the jury is still out on the effect that Colin Kaepernick's protest is going to have. But let me ask you this. The thing about it, when you look at Muhammad Ali was a champion. And even after what Muhammad Ali went through, he had the opportunity to have championship fights. I don't know if Colin Kaepernick is going to get another opportunity to play football in San Francisco. They 1-1. Blaine Gabbert. Now, I know how you feel about Blaine Gabbert, but he's not been the worst quarterback so far in the NFL. He's had an okay game. He's had a not okay game. But it looks like Chip Kelly is willing to go with him. So I don't see Colin Kaepernick getting another chance in San Francisco. And if he gets blackballed in the NFL, if he never gets the opportunity to become a champion, how much of an impact in the future do you think that what he's doing now really is going to hold? Because he's just really just an average player.
I believe Kaepernick can play again. And if Gabbert continues to be trash like I think he's going to be, you know, it would be protesting for Kaepernick to play. But if he gets blackballed, that just further shows what he did was right. It further, you know, delivers his message that he's doing. If he get blackballed, so he's already at peace with himself and saying, if this happened, he already getting threats. He getting threats in every direction And
Right.
he already said it goes to show why I'm doing this, and it's validating. So if he get blackballed, we could say it might hurt his professional career. But at this point, I think he's looking past football, and I think he'd be at peace with it.
If you had a vote, who would you vote to be the most disliked person in the NFL? Or player in the NFL?
The most disliked, the most disgraced player in the NFL, without question, is Tom Brady. This guy has compromised the integrity of the NFL by cheating and just being arrogant about it. We have a few guys that probably on some substance abuse, whatever, failed a couple tests here and there. But I mean, you just go out, just somebody that have a lack of integrity for the game. We just look at on the field. We have to go with Tom Brady.